Well, we are back now with our series On the Money. College students are heading back to campus. High schoolers are deep in the application process. So we figured this might be a pretty good time to break down the big questions that a lot of families are facing. How do we pay for college? Here to school us, CNBC senior personal finance correspondent Sharon Epperson. And for the purposes of this conversation, not just financial expert, but also the parent of two college students as well.
College.
Right in the middle of it.
So there's this, I want to make sure I get this right because it's a recent survey from Princeton Review. It found that 98% of all families say that financial aid is going to be necessary to get their kids through school. So we'll just start there. I mean, how do families go about getting financial aid? How do they even do it?
The first step is that they need to fill out the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA form, to make sure that they can get aid from the government for their children. And also a lot of colleges want to see that information as well. And that's for college, that's for vocation school, that's for trade school. If you want to get that grant, that financial aid, you need to fill out that form. Some private universities also like you to fill out the CSS profile to get non-federal institutional aid. And you want to make sure that when you get the financial aid award letters, you compare them so that you can figure out if one can maybe be a little bit better than the other. And you want to bring that up to the financial aid office in a way to just explain your financial situation and also what the student has been able to achieve in terms of other financial aid. It may not be, even for those people who are going to school this fall, too late to appeal for financial aid. That is because many people have had changes in their financial situations in their household, and that FAFSA form goes back 2 years. It looks at your income from 2 years prior to the fall that the student goes to school. So it's important, if you've had a change, to let the financial aid office know about your family's financial situation.
What exactly is merit aid, and how do you apply for that?
Well, merit aid is scholarships, and that's something that you get for athletic achievement, academic achievement, student interest groups, leadership, all different types of scholarships that you can apply for. And some of the websites that are really good to look at are things like FastWeb, scholarships.com. The College Board had something called Big Future. It has materials in English and Spanish, so people can make sure to get that information. Actually, CNBC's Money 101 newsletter also has a college savings newsletter that is in English and in Spanish, and Dinero 101 as well. And then you also want to look at local clubs and organizations, religious organizations, sororities, fraternities. I have to say my kids did a good job trying to apply to a lot of places for scholarships.
Oh, you can apply
and
to
you
multiple.
can apply to multiple private scholarships. Absolutely.
Okay. Another way to cut college costs is to consider tapping into your local community college. Can you talk about that?
Well, tapping into your local community college, great idea, because the cost of community college is so much less.
Yes.
And so doing 2 years of community college and then transferring to a 4-year college university is a great idea. And many states will require that they allow you to transfer as a junior,
well, that's
so that you
and
keep
the
your credit.
The credit transfer.
So you have to make sure and check on that. But the other thing you do is course sharing. So you could take some classes at night or a summer class at a community college, and that could count toward a bachelor's degree at a 4-year school. You got to check, but it's a possibility. And then also, of course, you don't necessarily have to have a car on campus. I know a lot of my daughter's freshman friends are saying you need to have a car. It's your first year. You definitely don't need a car. It's not necessary. And then other things that you can do with housing too. Many people going to school, staying at home, or staying with friends. Different ways to save those costs.
Hey, Sharon, really quickly, what about you? And you mentioned this earlier, vocational and technical schools, things like that.
So absolutely, you can still apply for financial aid. You fill out the FAFSA form for that. The other great thing is 529 college savings plans that you can start when your child is younger or now for college. Also apply to trade and vocational schools. So that's something really important.
I want to just follow up because you mentioned the 529. I think a lot of folks are familiar with 529s. But I read here that there's a Coverdell savings account.
The Coverdell savings account, another way to save for college, $2,000 a year. You can put more money in a 529 plan, but if you qualify for a Coverdell education savings account, that's something else that you may want to consider. The tax advantages, though, that you get with a 529 plan, the possibility of getting a state tax deduction, of being able to put your money in and having it grow tax-free, and the possibility of using the 529 plan money for private education for K through 12, as well as vocational and trade schools. There's just so much that you can do with a 529 plan. A great way to safe for
And
college.
just really quickly,
Yep.
just to follow up, are they transferable? Let's say one of my kids is smart, the other one maybe not so much.
You're a mess.
And then I've got to pay for one, maybe not the other.
Rob Peter.
Or you want to go back to school yourself? Yes, you can transfer the beneficiary.
Yes.
Absolutely. Some people take out 529 plans for each of their children. Some take it out for the oldest one, then transfer it to the younger one,
So
or
you
whatever.
just have a bulk account and it can just go.
Yes.
About the fifth child.
Can it earn more money if you do the bulk account? Or no?
It's not earning
just-
more money, but it's just for some people a way to streamline their finances.
Sure, thank you. Thank
Al
you.
has a face of judgment.
No, not judgment. I'm just worried about Dell and Sibby.
One
I'm thinking,
one
who's
of
he
them's going to
talking
get some
about?
scholarships, one of them maybe not so
All
much.
right, Sharon, thank you.
Today.com for more great advice, by the way.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.